Well, shockingly bad news for Jonathan Majors. And this is interesting because there was an update from Jeff Snyder, who is a Hollywood insider. And he'd recently heard, ladies and gents, that it was good news for Jonathan Majors, according to all of his legal friends. But wait. What's this? Jonathan Majors' criminal case. The DA releases new details, including a police incident in London. Yeah, it's not looking good. It's not looking good at all. It's very unfortunate, actually. The case is getting closer and closer and closer, and I'm holding off on doing the updates here and there, and I'm glad I did because a lot of them have been slammed. Actually, the DA is almost going after Jonathan Majors' defence counsel because of how they've handled things. In fact, going so far as to state that their video footage was complete bunk. Non-existent video footage. So it'll be fascinating to see whether that gets included in the case, because if it does, it obviously has to be corroborated and you know, quite diligently looked at to see whether it is legitimate evidence. But it's not looking like it will be. So yeah, interesting stuff. But let's take a look, ladies and gents. Hit subscribe if you're new here. So prosecutors in the Jonathan Majors case have revealed a previously unreported incident involving London police, which they believe is relevant to their domestic violence allegations. Not only that, loads of people claimed that Jabari, Grace Jabari, the individual that alleges Jonathan Majors assaulted her, loads of people claimed that she'd vanished. She's actually being kept safe by the DA's office, apparently, and she's going to be flown out and paid lodgings by the DA's office. So not the same narrative that was spewed by Jonathan Majors' defence counsel. So for those that don't know, Jonathan Majors, Loki star, was arrested on March 25th in Manhattan and is accused of assault and aggravated harassment following an alleged domestic dispute with his then-girlfriend Grace Jabari. In a new 115-page filing obtained by Variety, prosecutors say they are attempting to get a copy of a London Metropolitan Police report from September of 2022. While it is unclear what that report contains, obviously it's going to be to do with this, the filing references medical care obtained by Jabari at the time. Jabari is a citizen of the UK, and Majors was in London during that period, filming Season 2 of the Disney Plus Marvel series Loki. So, this development comes a day before Majors has to return to court for his domestic violence case. Wednesday today, court appearance is expected to be one of the final pre-trial hearings before the judge rules on whether to proceed with or dismiss the case. So this will be fascinating. The lengthy filing from the Manhattan District Attorney's Office is in response to the actor's motion to dismiss the case. It does not entirely lay out the DA's case, though it is intended to provide enough detail to move the case toward trial. Variety previously reported that additional alleged abuse victims of Majors are cooperating with the DA's office. So loads of people like to compare this to Johnny Depp. It's not the same. When Johnny Depp came out and said, no, this isn't the case at all, no one said, no, he is an abuser. In fact, everyone was like, yeah, no, this is absurd. Unfortunately, Jonathan Majors has come out and said, no, this isn't the case. And loads of people have sided with the victims and said, no, there's actually more reports. So it's not quite comparable. So the filing also alleges that Majors' legal team has leaked and misrepresented court evidence. Pretty big, to be fair, as well as attempted to have police create a wanted poster with Jabari's photo. So this is why I wasn't going to be covering all of the stuff from Majors' legal team, because Majors' legal team, Chowdhury, the attorney that he has, her partner is also a sort of a crisis management company man, basically, for Jonathan Majors, and has strong ties to TMZ. So that's why I have not been covering this stuff, because it had become a he said, she said situation. Best to handle things as it goes direct to the court case, especially as it gets closer and closer. But it also dismisses the idea that the DA has any plans to prosecute Jabari. So this is all the stuff that they've been saying. Apparently it's just all lies. So apparently Jabari was going to be prosecuted. Nah, not the case at all. DA's like, no, that's nonsense. For domestic violence alleged by Majors in a counterclaim, contradicting recent media reports that claimed such an action was imminent. Do you see? Do you see why? See why I wasn't covering it? So the document also offers new details on the events that led to Major's arrest. On March 25th, he and Jabari were taking a private car service from a Brooklyn party to their Chelsea apartment. According to the filing, Jabari, who worked as a movement coach alongside Majors on Disney Marvel tentpole Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania, saw a text message on Major's phone that read, "Wish I was kissing you right now." She allegedly took the phone out of his hands to see who sent the message. Majors then began grabbing the right side of Miss Jabari's body and prying Miss Jabari's right middle finger off the phone, causing bruising, swelling, and substantial pain. The filing continues that Majors then grabbed Miss Jabari's arm and right hand and proceeded to twist Miss Jabari's forearm, causing substantial pain to her fingers and arm. The defendant then struck Miss Jabari's right ear, causing a laceration to the back of her ear and substantial pain. So after he retrieved his phone, Majors exited the vehicle and Jabari attempted to follow the actor. That's when the defendant grabbed her, picked her up and threw her back inside and sustained substantial pain, including a fractured finger, bruising about her body, a laceration behind her right ear and a bump on her head. I'm assuming this is threw her back inside the car, which, well, we would know from whoever was driving the car whether that's the case. So the filing calls into question a number of media leaks that paint Jabari as the aggressor. In the time since the arrest, Major's criminal defense lawyer Priya Chowdhury has alleged that it was Jabari who assaulted Majors and not the other way round. Chowdhury also called the case a witch hunt, one that is saturated with explicit and implicit bias. They basically pulled the race card. It's very pathetic. Majors has pleaded not guilty to the 4 charges levelled against him. A 5th charge for strangulation was dropped. So Major's lawyer have previously alleged there's a video that shows at least one bystander called 911 and that an NYPD patrol car responded to the location. And the defence has been informed that the NYPD possesses at least one other 911 call from the scene of the altercation. But the state is casting doubt on this depiction of events. The DA's filing says an unrelated taxi was pulled over nearby and police were called. This taxi is not in any way involved with the case, the filing says. It also alleges there were no other radio runs, sprint reports or 911 calls from the scene of the incident that night. Chowdhury, you can remember their partner is also like a crisis management company, has maintained that there is evidence clearing Majors of any wrongdoing, including surveillance video that shows Jabari completely unharmed after the defendant's alleged assault. But the new filing counters this assertion, saying the surveillance video referred to by the defence actually shows Ms. Jabari visibly upset, crying and seeking help from strangers to get an Uber cab home. Which I presume is not actually the one which was leaked to the public. Major's team has contended that the DA is withholding relevant information. However, the filing says the DA disclosed a substantial amount of discovery that included NYPD memo books, phone records, medical records, signed search warrants and related affidavits for the defendant's iCloud and phone, surveillance video from 8 locations and witness interview notes from 9 individuals. Pretty substantial, to be fair. The Manhattan DA's office declined to comment. Major's attorney also declined to comment. It's pretty crazy. But, I mean, it's not looking like it's going to go down very well for him, quite frankly. This looks very, very bad. We can face up to a year in prison. I doubt he'll go to prison, in fairness. But, yeah, this is pretty bad stuff. So, yeah, basically just said, yeah, you're releasing stuff which isn't true. This is all nonsense. So, bad times. But let me know what you think down below. I'd love to hear it. Drop it down below. Cheers, guys. Take care. Bye-bye now.